Hi, Chris Janak here, Insight Media. I'm in the Garmin booth at CES 2025. I've just had their demo of some proof of concept technologies for the automotive space. This is their fourth year of doing this. These are proof of concepts at this point, and they are using ultra wideband technology. I was not familiar with this, so I had to look it up a little bit. Turns out it is a millimeter wave radio frequency positioning system. So it's similar to 5G, but I think it's a little bit higher frequency, but it's still in the millimeter wave, so tens of gigahertz. It is short range. What you have to do is set up transmitters or markers. In this case, they're doing their demo in the cabin. So last year they had to use 10 markers. This year they've got it down to 4 markers to be able to do horizontal positioning. 10 let them do horizontal and vertical positioning. So they set these up in the cabin. And one of the demos that you can do with this is now child presence detection. So if you have a child in a car seat in the back of the car, the camera that's in the car may not be able to sense that because it may not be visible, even if there's an IR sensor. So having these positional markers in the car, you set up basically a field within the car, and that field now can detect motion. It sends out pulses, so it's time ranging. And by processing those pulses, they can actually detect the chest movements of the baby in the car seat. And that can be distinguished separately from adults that might also be in the car because their chest movements would be different. So in the scenario of using this, the adult forgets the child in the car. They turn up the engine, they get a warning that there's a child. If they're still get out of the car, there additional warnings might be alerted, and the OEM could then decide. Could be an OEM product. Could then decide to send an alert to the driver's cell phone, for example. Gee, you left your kid in the car, or you might be able to turn on the air conditioning or open the windows or do something to mitigate the situation. They also had a demo where you could track the headphones from the driver to a different passenger. I'm not quite sure that's particularly relevant, but the child detection, child presence detection seems like a very useful application. So they weren't allow me to show this particular demo, but in back of me you can see, you've probably been seeing some of the video that they show talking about some of the automotive capabilities and this demo setup in particular. They were also talking about being able to create an OEM environment to kind of almost reskin the environment of the car. So they have basically a digital twin of the car model, and the OEM or the end user to be determined because they could be one or the other. Then has the ability to change the lighting in the car, to change the theme of the displays on the dashboard or other parts of the car, and they can kind of also interface that with an AI engine that's within the car, so it doesn't have to go to the cloud. So you can say, give me a theme based on waterfalls or jungles or mountains, and that will be rendered on the displays in the car. The lighting in the car can also be changed separately, and the lighting would also automatically be um, derived based on the background scene and the lighting that came from that. So I think that's most of what I know. It's Chris Janak here for Garmin.